Hello everyone, welcome to Chirags Laravel tutorial. In this video, we are going to learn how to create employee card operation with PHP Laravel 10 with MySQL database. So there is some steps we'll go through by step and we'll create the project. So first step is that we will create the project. So command is that composer create project prefer-dist and Laravel/Laravel, then what is ever your project name. So there is a project name is employee card, and go to the employee card and whatever you want to create, just like make controller and model, this thing will create and view pages, and we'll just configure the database. Let me go through the coding. Let me open the folder. I am going to create the project in this path. So my path is administrator, and there is a Chirag Laravel tutorial. Here I am going to create the project. So let me open the command prompt from here. So this is my CMD. So I'll create the project. So command is for the creating the projects: composer, then create project, prefer disk, then Laravel slash Laravel, then employee card. So I'm going to create the employee card operation here. So click on enter. This will take few minutes. Laravel is creating. So in this video we'll just see the how to add the employee into the database, how to retrieve the data and update the data and delete the data. So all the CRUD operation: create, update, read and delete. So this operation will go through that. So whenever we will run this command, automatically the employee card is created here, and all the library and folder will automatically come to the gen page. Let it complete. And for the creating the project, you need to install the composer. You go through my previous video where I configure the this one PHP and composer, and we have other videos are there I configure the gem. I'm using here MySQL database. Directly you can use the MySQL database install, and you can use another way you can use the MySQL database with the individually you can install, with the using jump also, wamp also you can use the database. Complete. All the library is going to be installed. See, remember the command for the creating the project: composer create dash project, then prefer disk, then Laravel/Laravel and employee card. And when you'll just write this line and use the enter command, then you will automatically it will create the project. So project create project path is user/administrator/Chirag Laravel tutorial. Inside that, employee card is there, and loading repository. All the so application is completed, is set successfully. So everything is created. Now I'm going to inside the folder, so cd employee card. Then I want to open this project into the Visual Studio Code. So write code dot, automatically it will open with the Visual Studio Code. So check everything is okay or not. So there is a app folder. Inside the app there is a controller, and there is a model, and inside the resources there is a views. So this project Laravel framework is using the MVC, so model view controller. Same. First thing I'm going to create the I want to run the project and I want to see the this is running or not. Go to the terminal, new terminal. For the running the project, I have to write the command php artisan serve. There is a path. In this path the project will run. Then let me open the project. So Laravel first page is open there. So I'm using the Laravel version 10.13.0 and I'm using the PHP version 8.2.4. so there is a Laravel is running. Second, first of all, I'm going to create the configuration of the database. You want to change the application name, so I'm going to change employee card, and I want to just configure the database. I'm using the MySQL database, so the connection is name is MySQL. DB host is the 127.0.0.1. port is 3306. My jump is running here. Let me open the jump. So inside the jump, let me check the my MySQL is running with the 3306 port. I'm running with the same port, and I'm going to give the database name EmployeeCRUD, and I didn't put any password there. That's not a problem. EmployeeCRUD, you want to create the database, so you can create. Otherwise, second way we'll just go through the command and we'll later on we'll see. So let me open and check. PHP my admin has the EmployeeCRUD is there. Reload. We don't have the EmployeeCRUD. Okay. Now my database configuration is completed. This is my database configuration. Now I'm going to use one more terminal, and here I will just use for the creating the controller and model. So for the creating the controller command is there php artisan and make colon controller, and there is a controller name, so employee okay, so CONTRO employee controller. I'm going to use the employee controller. Click on enter. So you can able to see before. If you will check, then you will get it here. Employee controller was not there. Now when we run the command, employee controller is created. So this is my employee controller, and this you can check with the path also. In this path we will just check the employee controller. So inside the controller there is a employee controller is created successfully. Similarly we will create the model. So php artisan make model, and there I'm giving the model name is employee. One more thing, with the model I'm going to create the migration table. So migration table I'm going to create, so that for that using the command is -m for the migration table. So whenever I will create, it will create the model employee and migration table. So look at this, go to the model, and there is only one model is there, user, and inside the database migration there is a 4 files are there. So the with the migration -m, it will create one more file for the migration file, and it will create the model also. So model name is employee and migration will be create employee will create it here. So let me click on enter. So see, create employees table is created, and there is a migration table is model is also created, employee and employees table. Next, so I'll just create the database and table with the migration. So I'm going to just modify the my migration table. So there is a create employee underscore table file is there. So my table name is employee, and I'm going to create the columns name. So b going to create the big int later on I'll just click on that. So I'm creating the first underscore name, last name, email, password, mobile address. This many field I am going to create for the my testing purpose. So employee table will be created. After that, employee table when we will create, so with the migration command it will just create all the columns with the employee table. Now whatever the columns you are using, I have to define into the fillable variable that will be defined into the my model. So fillable variable is for mass insertion. Whenever you are using the mass insertion, it will help you out, otherwise you will get a error. So here I'm going to use the protected, then dollar of fillable equal to, here I'm going to use one by one. So first underscore name, last underscore name, then there is a email, check, email, password, mobile address. So I created the fillable variable. So I'm just closing this one also. Now I'm just running the command for the migration. So that will be the PHP artisan migrate. Whenever you will click on the enter, it will ask you the warning that database employee card does not exist on the MySQL connection. Would you like to create it? Yes. Or manually you can create the employee card database. So I'm going to use from creating from here. So I'm just clicking the yes, enter. So all the command is run successfully. I didn't get any error. The employee card and everything there. Now let me go and check into the database. Refresh, reload, and I am able to see the employee card is there. So employee card, and these are the default tables, and here employee table is there. So let me go through the table. So now you can able to check that ID is there, first name, last name, email, password, mobile address, and created at and updated at. This is coming from the timestamp. Whenever we are using the timestamp, it will create the two columns, that is a created at and updated at. So this many field, and go through the structure. So begin, there is a there is a data type. I have taken the begin, so ID is the begin, later on the varchar, and size is the 255, whatever the default size. And begin, I'm using the auto increment, automatically it will just go to the primary key, also just the key for the primary key symbol. So my table is created. Now first I'll go to the add employee, and I will just insert the data to the add employee, then I will list out, then I will edit and delete. This many things I'll work. So this is the MVC format. So I have to go through the model view controller. So I'm going to the controller, employee controller. Here I will create the function public function. I'm giving the name for the first function index, and here I will just get the data, dollar of data. Let me create the add employee first. So add employee, I'll just create the page. So return view page, I'll call here view page, and here I'll write add underscore employee employee. Let me create the view page, add employee, and it follow the blade template. So I am going to create the blade page. So add employee dot blade dot php. Let me write of the test. And whenever you are creating page, then I have to call with the routes. So routes, I am going there and I'll create the web.config. Here I'll write route get. Here I'll just write the add dash employee. My controller name is employee controller. Just copy that. Here I'm calling the name add employee, and I'm not using alias now. Later on when we'll use, I'll just define that one. So here like this I'm calling. One more thing we are missing: whenever you are using any controller, calling the controller, you have to define into the above. So you use then path of the controller. So here already the path here, or you can directly type the path. So use space like my controller name. So my controller name is employee controller. Now let me check with the path. So I will call the page with the add employee. Copy that right there. Add employee. So test is coming. So I am able to locate the page. So here I will just start creating the my page. So add employee. So here I will write HTML colon 5. Then automatically it will, the basic HTML will come. Then add employee, add employee. Add employee is there. Now I'm going to use the bootstrap. So bootstrap CDN, let me just download the bootstrap CDN. Bootstrap CDN, let me copy that. Going to use the bootstrap CDN. Now here I'm going to use the you should know the basic HTML for this. So I'm using the container, then row class container, then row, then I'm using the call md, I'm using the 8, then I'm going to the offset. So offset to 2. So here you can see it will automatically just write the like this, or you can one by one directly you can type and you can define like this. So in one command I can directly use this format. I'm using here h2 add employee. Now I'm going to use start the form. Form attributes, I'm going to write there is a method. I can use the two method, form method on get in post. Get method pass the variable with the URL, and post method encrypt the variable and it will pass into the hidden field. So and there is a action. So action, I'll just create URL and I'll just write the save employee. Now I'm using for the some div and here I'll just use the label. I'll write the first name, then here input box, in type is equal to text, then other variables for that. So name should be there. Name I am going to define. Name is the first name. I'm just going to define without underscore, without space, first name. Then class I'm using bootstrap class form control, form control, form control. Then next placeholder I'm using enter your first name. Else no. So this is for the first name. Similarly I'll do for the other. So first name, last name, email, password, mobile address, then submit button. This many thing I need. So this is the first name, this one is the for last name, enter your last name, first name, last name. There is a email, there, then password. Type I'm just changing with the password. Enter your password. And one more thing I am going to add here, max length. Okay, no, I'm not adding here. I'll add will the mobile number. There is a mobile text. There is a, I'm going to name all the text box name should be different. And I'm using here max length. So max length I'm giving the 10. The character should be 10 letter. Later on we'll just go through the validate, and this should will be only numeric, and we'll just use the jQuery, JavaScript, anything for that. So after mobile there is a address, address, address. Or if you want to text area, then you can use the text area here, text area, name, address, class I'm using the same default. I'll just leave the call row as column in as a default column. And last input type is equal to, here I'll use the submit button, sub submit, name is equal to submit, class I'll use the btn dash success. I'm using, we don't have any variable like the placeholder. Here I will use the value is equal to submit. So let me run this page and let me check. So page is created. Okay, why first name is coming? So this is my page. So there is a add employee, there is a first name, last name, email, there is a password, then address. It will be like this initially. So first name, last name, first name, last name, email, password, mobile, and address. This many field we have. Can resize this one. This is the basic, this one basic of the text area. So now whenever I will click on the submit, data should be inserted to my employee table, this table. So here I have created the save employee. So let me create the web root for that. So here I'll create, I'm using the post for that, save employee. Here I'll write the save employee. Okay, so I'll create the method save employee in my controller. Go to the controller, public and save employee, and here we are getting the data from the post method. So here I'll just write the request, then dollar of request. Let me check data is coming or not. For the checking purpose, you can use the display and die dd function. Dollar of request tends to all function. So whatever the data will be there, it will display and die. Let me check with that. Refresh this using the dummy form filler and just submit. Let me use the CSRF token. This is a anti-forgery token, so I have to use that. So every form has a different CSRF ID. Let's submit. I will get the data. Whatever the data we have posted there, I'm getting that data. So up to this we have completed. Now I want to insert this data into my database. So let me go back. Let me write the code for inserting the data. So while inserting, I'll just check with the validations also. I'll write the validation, and there is a separate video I'll create for the validation. Now I'm going for the simple validation. So the request tends to validate there is your first name, first, just with the name, first name. So first name should be required. Similarly, I'll go last name, email, password, mobile address. All the field I'll add. Let me copy the name, last name, word, file, this. So these fields are required. Then I'll create object for the employee. So $employee employee is equal to new employee. So whenever I will calling the employee, I should just use that use. Then I'll go through the path app model slash then class name employee. Using that, so object is created. Now I'll insert the data into the database. So dollar of employee tends to have first underscore name is equal to paste. First, just remember that why I'm calling it like this. So employee is the object of the employee model, and there is a employee first name is defined there. If you go through the columns name, there is a structure, there is a first underscore name. So same thing I'll call here first name, and this is for the text box name. So go to the text box. Here we have a first name, so same thing I'm getting from the request. So similarly I'll do for the last name, email, password, mobile address. So first name, last underscore name. This side I'll write the last name. There is a email, password, address. So both the pages have the same name. For this field only first name is, last name is different. After getting all the data, I'll just go for the save command. So employee tends to save. There is a predefined function is there. We save. I'll use that function and automatically data will be saved. Now whenever we are saving the data, I need the back, and I will just display the message that employee added successfully, like that. So for that I'll just return redirect, then ps back with, I write the message here. So here I'll write success, and this side I'll write employee added successfully. Okay, redirect back with success, employee added successfully. Now whenever you are writing this, I have to just define this one into my page also, and with the validations also. So go to your page. Here I'll just write the error code. So error code at the rate error of, here I'll just pass the text box name, and here I'll just write the error. So alert dot alert danger. Here I'll just write the message. This one for the error message for the particular text box. Similarly I'll do the same for all. So the mobile address is completed. This one password, mail, first name. So this one is completed. And for the message for the employee added successfully, for that I'll just write at the rate if, here I'll just write session has success. Then I'll just do the same. I'll just display the session get success. So here this one for the showing the error message for the employee added successfully one, and these are the for the particular field is required message. Let me check with that. Whenever I will submit, the first name is required, last name is required, mobile number is required, address is required. These things are pre-filled, so I'm not getting that. So let me remove this one also and submit. So all the field is required. So I am using the required field validator here. So now I'm going to insert the data into my table. So let me check with the table browse. We don't have any data. Let me check. Here I will write the to Chirag. There is a password I'm giving Chirag and mobile number. Click on submit. Employee added successfully. Let me go through the page and let me check. We got the employee and ended type, created time, everything which coming now. Now next is we added employees completed. Now next is we are going to the get the employee list. So I am going to create one page employee list. Here I am going to create one function public function I'm going to create index one. So here I will get the all the employee list. Let me write this code in the top. Dollar data is equal to employee get. So I'll get all the employee data. Then return view of. Here I'll just create the page emplo employee underscore list. I'm going to create the compact. I'm just writing the binding the data to my page. There is a data. So whatever the data is coming here, I'm passing with the data with the employee list. Create the employee list page. Right click here, create employee list dot plate.php. Plate.php. So in this page I'll just get the code, and for employee list I have to define the page here. Get list using the function. So in this page I'll get the employee list. So employee list is there. Page the texture to form employee list list. So this is my basic page. Let me check the page is I can able to get the page or not. So employee list, so I'm getting the page employee list getting. I have to just get all the data here. So whatever we are getting the data that we are getting from the database. So here I get the data. So table class I'm using the table. So first attributes is a t head, so table head, then th ph hum. Here I'm just using the hash, so this will be automatic increment. Then I'm using the id. Then next id is there, first name, first, last name, mail, word, file, address. So first name, id, first name, last name, email, password, mobile, address, this thing is completed. So similarly I'll go through the showing the data, table data, t body. So here I'll write the t body. Here I'll use the for each edge dollar of data. I'm passing the data from here, this one, this variable I'll call here. So data as a employee, dollar of employee, as a employee I'm passing. Now here I'll use the tr, then td. Then here I'll write similarly I'm copying this one. So first is here, there is, I'll use the auto increment. So dollar of I plus plus, I have to define the I here inside, outside the for which I'm going to define at the rate php. Then dollar of I is equal to 1. I'm giving the initial value is 1, so automatically it will increase here. So employee, then I'll just call id, first underscore name, last underscore name, email, password, file, address, anything I need here. So let me run the page. Wow, we got the data. So id is 1, whatever the data detail is there, so detail is available. Now we need the action. So this one is insertion is completed and retriever is completed. Now I need the update and delete. So I'm going to add here one more variable here, action. Here I'll write for that. So I'm using the anchor tag, href, one for the edit, another for delete. So these two I'm going to create. So here I'll just call that for the edit. So I'm using the URL, then edit as employee employee slash, I will append, I'll pass the employee ID. This one I'll pass it. Similarly I'll do for the delete. Here I'll write the delete. So these two pages I have to create, and there is a command edit and delete will run. So let me run and check how it looks. So edit and delete is coming. Let me change this to full page, full screen, where I'm use the 12, full screen. So edit and delete. If you want to create the button, then you can call only class only, just like in delete I'm just using class btn button and button danger danger. These are the button types. So danger, so see, this become a button. So edit. Add one more thing, add employee here, give a tag, add employee href, control v, add employee. So add employee is coming here. So click on add employee, we can add the employee, and edit and delete everything we can check. So let me click on some dummy data. Okay, address is too large, that's not a problem. Add the dummy data. Added successfully. Let me go to the back. Yes, so I'm getting the data here. So second data is there. So similarly we can check with the database, we are getting the data here. So now I'll use the edit and delete. So let me first configure the edit, then we'll go for the delete. So edit page, so this is the controller. Here I'll just create the edit page. Really, I'll create the edit page. Edit employee get, and here I will write the condition because I'm passing the user ID. So user I'm passing the ID, so dollar of ID, whatever the employee ID is there, I'll passing that. So I'll just write the where, I'll just get the first here equal to, then just define the page, add edit employee, and I'll just compact the data I'm getting and data I'm getting. So edit create the page, so that will be the inside the view. So right click on the view, new pages, edit employee dot blade dot php, and this page similar to add employee. So let me copy the page of the add employee. I'll change this one, edit employee, and I'll create the update employee page there, and here I'll add the one more attribute, that is the value. So is equal to, I'll pass the value here. So dollar data tends to first name. Similarly I'll do, so let me copy this line, and let me paste to everywhere. I'll just go through that. Here's the condition to the different. So this is text area, address will be there, file number, it will go to the value field, password, Okay, so let me check. Click on the edit, page not found. Okay, edit employee 1. I have to create the edit employee. I have to define the page there. So web.php, let me go that, get the path edit employee slash, there I'll pass the id, so slash id, and here I'll write edit employee. This is the method name, same as the this method name. With that, let me run, check edit employee 1. Yeah, it came, but I didn't get any data. First name, okay, maybe, okay, first name last name didn't get, because of in database there is a first underscore name is there, and last name there is a last underscore name is there. So same is the column name, then only I'll get. So first name Chirag Mahato, and this thing I am getting all the detail. So this is coming from the database. So this is the edit employee, and I'm getting all the data from the database. Now I'll just go through the update. There is a update employee is there. I have to create the update employee. Whenever it will submit, I will going to post the data to the to the controller. So go to the path, post that. So I'm calling this one date. So this is update employee. Here I'll write the update employee. Update employee. I'm going to create the page, public update employee. Update employee, I'm posting the data, so I'll do the same. I will validate all the things. I'll validate all the things. So validate it. Now I'm going to update that. So employee where id is okay. I have to define one more thing, id. So I'll create one more field in there, hidden field. I'll just pass the hidden id placeholder id. So I'll read the id from here, and I'll update on the basis of id. Add dollar of id, request id, then there is the update. There I'll write the field one by one. First name, verify this one. How many types? First underscore name, last score, required I'll remove. Here I'll read the first name, the last name, and email, password, file, and address. All the data I read and updated. After update, I'm going to return to the same page, and I just giving the message to updated successfully. Same copy this one, updated successfully. Let me run and check. So employee 1 I'm getting, just add one. Click on submit, updated successfully. I'm getting all the field. There is a 1111. Go to the database and check. There is a Chirag 1, Chirag Mahato 1, everything is coming. So similarly I have done the updated. So here I refresh that, so you will get the updated one. Now last is delete. Let me go to the web.config. Here I'll write the delete. Delete. So delete employee / id and delete employee. So this is my method name. Come here, public function delete employee. We pass the similarly I'll do there only. I'll write the delete, and I want to return to the back page. Right here, employee deleted successfully. So delete one is also completed. Let me run and check. So click on the delete, employee deleted successfully. Database also you can check, there is only one field. So there is only one and deleted successfully. Want to add one more employee for the testing. So dummy form filler, employee list, just refresh. I'm getting one data and we're going to delete. So employee deleted successfully. I have only one data. So in this video we have learned how to create employee CRUD operation with the web app and PHP Laravel 10 with MySQL database, and there is all the commands is there, and video will be available, and whatever the we did with the this one project will be available with the link also. So hope this will be helpful for you. Thank you for watching.